Keith Landi, your Happy Healer for President. I'm going to leave you on here with some of the debate coverage, but I'm also going to be coming on and interjecting, and I have to tell you the way we're going to do this evening is, and let me just pause that for a moment. And that's because the way we're going to do this is I'm going to show you the live Democratic debate, and it's coming up now. And then I'm also a candidate, so I will be interjecting at points, not too much, but enough to get my own points in. Okay? Usually during commercial breaks and at other points, and I'll explain to you when those points are happening. We'll just keep it going for now.
Seat that, and there's a lot of candidates for that third seat. When the music stops, only one of them are going to get that seat.
Big, bold ideas, energy, compassion. Will you take care of me? Will you solve my problems?
Watch the wings. See who emerges, who can challenge the top three.
We're an energy city. Houston's energy city, and all that's going to depend on, can the leaders keep the fuel in the gas tank, and can the outliers put more fuel in the tank to survive after tonight?
So much at stake. The 10 candidates for the first time on a single stage. Vice President Joe Biden, Senator Elizabeth Warren, also Senator Bernie Sanders. For the first time, we're going to watch this all play it live. We cannot wait for the excitement. It's just about to start. The candidates have taken to the podium right now. We are less than a minute away from all this action happening right on ABC News. And of course on ABC News Live, Hulu streaming all across the world tonight. For one of the first times in the world, people can watch on their app and watch every moment by moment. Also a reminder, we have a big post-debate show as well with this powerhouse panel. We also have, on top of that, our team of reporters and correspondents upstairs as well, for all the action that's happening there on the stage. And of course, we will be talking to the candidates live. We're expecting nearly all the candidates, if not all of them, to come right here to the spin room and talk with ABC News after the debates. Regardless if they have a big night, regardless if they have a bad night, we're going to press them and we're going to make sure to talk to them. For us, we're done here now in the spin room. Let's get down to the main room, the debate hall. Chief anchor George Stephanopoulos, he is 15 seconds away from a major night in politics. We thank you.
The stage is set. The field has been narrowed for one night only. The top 10 candidates are here. Our Democratic primary debate starts right now.
This is an ABC News special.
I will be a president for every American.
This is our moment.
We are in a struggle for the future of this country.
We fight for our country. That's the nature of who we are.
Right now, we can act. We're in the midst of the greatest economic transformation. We have overcome worse times, darker moments than this. We will make the most of this moment that we have here together.
We are on a march together.
We're going to win by being bold. We're going to win by being fearless.
Live from Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas. Here now, Chief Anchor George Stephanopoulos.
Good evening and welcome to Houston. We are live from Texas Southern University for tonight's Democratic debate. The top 10 candidates are here. It's going to start right now, and on the stage you see them. They have all met the criteria set by the Democratic National Committee. At least 10 others have not met the threshold. So for the first time in this primary, a single debate in a single night with all the top candidates facing off. It is a critical test for candidates and their campaigns at a critical time for our country. They're going to lay out their vision for the country, their records, their differences with President Trump and each other. And we're going to do our best to bring you a lively, informative, and civil debate. I'm joined here tonight by my ABC colleague, World News Tonight anchor David Muir, our national correspondent Lindsay Davis, and Jorge Ramos from our partner network, Univision. Jorge?
George, thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to welcome Latinos across the country and to ask about Latinx issues during these challenging times. En este país también se habla español. Este debate se realiza en un momento muy difícil para los latinos en Texas y en todo Estados Unidos, pero es importante que ellos sepan, que sepamos que este también es nuestro país. Let me just give you a little translation here. I'm telling Latinos that despite the fact that we are facing difficult times, this is our country too.
We are delighted to be on the beautiful campus of Texas Southern University, one of the largest historically black colleges and universities in the country. And here in the Health and Physical Education building tonight, we are joined by a live audience of 3,500 people, most invited by the Democratic National Committee, and of course, some of the brightest minds of the student body here at TSU. Go Tigers!
You can feel the energy in the room, can't we, Lindsay? The rules of this debate are very basic tonight and have been agreed to by all the campaigns in advance. Candidates will have 1 minute, 15 seconds to answer a direct question and 45 seconds for a rebuttal or response, as directed by one of the moderators. Candidates will each see green and yellow lights, there you see them right there, indicating how much time they have remaining, and when time is up, the light will turn red. Candidates who interrupt will be subject to having their time reduced later on. But this is democracy, the great American experiment, and the candidates are here tonight to make their case.
The podium places based on their current standings in nationally recognized polls of the leading candidates in the center. All candidates have been told they can have 1 minute to make an opening statement, and we're going to begin in reverse polling order with Secretary Julian Castro.
Good evening y bienvenidos a Texas. Welcome to Texas. It's great to be here at TSU, home of the Tigers. You know, on January 20th, 2021, at 12:01 p.m., we're going to have a Democratic president, a Democratic House, and a Democratic Senate. There will be life after Donald Trump. But the truth is that our problems didn't start just with Donald Trump, and we won't solve them by embracing old ideas. We need a bold vision. Universal pre-K and universal health care, unleashing millions of new jobs in the clean energy economy, a tax system that rewards people who have to work for a living. But first we have to win, and that means exciting a young, diverse coalition of Americans who are ready for a bold future. That's what Kennedy did. It's what Carter did. It's what Clinton did. It's what Barack Obama did. And it's what I can do in this race. Get back Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, Florida, Georgia, and Arizona, and finally turn Texas blue and say goodbye to Donald Trump.
Senator Klobuchar.
Good evening, Texas Southern. I believe that what unites us up here, the 10 of us, is much stronger than what divides us. And I think that's true of our country, too. Now, I may not be the loudest person up here, but I think we've already got that in the White House. Houston, we have a problem. We have a guy there that is literally running our country like a game show. He would rather lie than lead. I think we need something different. I am someone that tells the truth. I don't make promises that I can't keep. I have people's back, and I believe that to win, you bring people with you, and that is how you govern as well. So you're going to hear a lot of ideas up here. Some will be great, but if you see that some of them seem a little off track, I've got a better way. If you feel stuck in the middle of the extremes in our politics and you are tired of the noise and the nonsense, you've got a home with me. Because I don't want to be the president for half of America. I want to be the president for all of America.
Congressman Beto O'Rourke.
It's an honor to be on this debate stage. It is wonderful to be back in Texas, in Houston, back here at TSU. On August 3rd, in El Paso, Texas, two things became crystal clear for me, and I think produced a turning point for this country. The first is just how dangerous Donald Trump is, the cost and the consequence of his presidency. A racism and violence that had long been a part of America was welcomed out into the open and directed to my hometown of El Paso, Texas, where 22 people were killed, dozens more grievously injured by a man carrying a weapon he should never have been able to buy in the first place, inspired to kill by our president. The second is how insufficient our politics is to meet the threat that we have right now. The bitterness, the pettiness, the smallness of the moment The incentives to attack one another and try to make differences without distinctions, mountains out of molehills. We have to be bigger. We have to see clearly. We have to speak honestly, and we have to act decisively. That's what I want to do for you as President of the United States. Thank you.
Senator Cory Booker.
It was over 20 years ago that I was a law student and moved to inner city Newark, New Jersey to serve as a tenants' rights lawyer to try to address the challenges in my community. And I was sobered by them, the gun violence, the substandard housing. But it was my greatest mentor, a woman named Miss Virginia Jones, who challenged me. She said, boy, if all you see in this neighborhood is problems, that's all there's ever going to be. But if you're stubborn and defiant and can put forth a vision that can unify people, then we can make transformative change. She was a church woman that said, without vision, the people will perish. Well, that's exactly what we did. We created extraordinary unity in our community, and we did things that other people thought was impossible. That's the story of America. At our best, we unify. We find common cause and common purpose. The differences amongst us Democrats on the stage are not as great as the urgency for us to unite as a party, not just to beat Donald Trump, but to unite America in common cause and common purpose. That's why I'm running for president, and that's how I will lead this nation.
Entrepreneur Andrew Yang.
In America today, everything revolves around the almighty dollar. Our schools, our hospitals, our media, even our government. It's why we don't trust our institutions anymore. We have to get our country working for us again instead of the other way around. We have to see ourselves as the owners and shareholders of this democracy rather than inputs into a giant machine. When you donate money to a presidential campaign, what happens? The politician spends the money on TV ads and consultants, and you hope it works out. It's time to trust ourselves more than our politicians. That's why I'm going to do something unprecedented tonight. My campaign will now give a freedom dividend of $1,000 a month for an entire year to 10 American families, someone watching this at home right now. If you believe that you can solve your own problems better than any politician, go to Yang2020.com and tell us how $1,000 a month will help you do just that. This is how we will get our country working for us again, the American people.
Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
It's original, I'll give you that. The American people are divided and doubtful at the very moment we need to rise to some of the greatest challenges we've ever seen. As a mayor of an industrial city coming back from the brink, as a veteran of the war in Afghanistan, I know what's at stake in our national leadership. We keep sending politicians to Washington, asking them to fight for us, but then when they get there...
I just wanted to kind of cut in real quickly. I am Keith Landi, your Happy Healer for President, and I am mounting my own campaign, indeed, and what I'm going to do is pause this.
We just marked the anniversary of...
And what I just wanted to say to you is, in live time here, on some of our channels where we're live simulcasting this, they are actually taking our live cast down. And so I don't want to invite them to continue taking these channels down for no cause. And then it just makes it harder for me to run my campaign, which is a very serious campaign based on the future. So the hell with them. I'm not interested in hearing their bad ideas, especially at the expense of my own campaign. So we're shutting down that debate. I'm just going to use this opportunity right now while I still have some of you guys here with me to talk to you about some of my own policy proposals, especially the freedom dividend that Andrew Yang was just talking about, and that's a great idea. I agree with that. We need to have an income for all. That's the only way we're going to be able to get people to get to their human essence, to be able to focus on their spirituality and their lives, to be able to focus on their families and their education, and to get better at being a human being. Think about it. We really have to work on that, don't we? That's how we're going to solve issues like racism and bigotry. And I'm so confident that we can do that if we have the courage to approach this next decade with the precision of human love, and that we make sure we take care of every single human soul in this country. It is important right now, more so than any other time, to start focusing on love. We all know it. It's the great battle within. It's the one inside each of us that we have been waging and largely, sadly, losing. And that is why your Happy Healer is running for president, because of how grave that issue is. And there is no other candidate prepared like your Happy Healer for president is, in order to atone that issue, because we are going to get directly to the cause, and it is greed. I make no buts about it. We know what it is. We see it in action all the time in our country. And one thing I'm going to tell you as President of the United States, we are putting humanity and putting it above capitalism. By doing so, it takes a serious stance on the way we treat a human being in America in the year 2019. It recognizes that in the year 1950, when we had one parent working, and that parent was able to provide for a family of 4 with a wife and 2 children, and that whole family unit was able to otherwise survive with their sustenance. But then in the year 2019, that's not possible unless you have 2 parents working sometimes 1 to 2 jobs each. Then your Happy Healer for president, sees a severe problem with that. And that's again how you end up with my candidacy. Because I don't come out of the woodwork for nothing, folks. I am an American, and I love this country. And the fact is, there is a calling for me. There really is. There is just insanity beyond insanity, and I am somebody with enlightenment. I have studied for a long time the important factors of being a good human being, and I am an American to and through, and I care about this country, and I have seen where things are headed, and I don't like it. So I am doing my very best in order to step up and make changes that we all should be making in order to address the greed that's taking on unprecedented ways. It's reshaping our country. And here's what I contend is going to happen in the next 5 years. I think that if we don't get this under control, and that if we don't start taking serious measures in order to show that we have something worth fighting for, we see homegrown terrorism coming out of the woodwork as if people are just going crazy, and they are. I contend they are. So you have people just coming out of the middle of nowhere and literally shooting up places. That wasn't happening at all times in American history. So let's face it, that is a new phenomena. When we address the human spirit like we are going to do in this campaign, then you know that we're going to get to that desperate human work. And that's why it's important to have an income for all. And that's why I think that Yang is on the right page with that. But he doesn't go far enough. We do $5,000 per American family, and we also have other measures. There's so many things. We have to go full stop taking care of Americans so that we can actually get on to the very serious work of fixing this country. And I have a very solid plan. I am very well thought out on this thing. And I have come to you in so many different ways. Tonight is not the night to break down every policy detail. But let me tell you, I have been doing that over time, and I have been doing so much more. I help you understand what it takes to lead and live a happy life. So I have done that as your Happy Healer well long before these programs towards running for president has begun. But if I'm already on the right path and providing value to my fellow American brothers and sisters, and I see that this is the right way to go, and that others believe in me and edge me on to do that, because quite frankly, I have some answers that make sense and that we can actually achieve something greater. Why would I not then run for president? So that's why I'm doing that. I care about this country. But trust me, I'm happy as am. I don't need the presidency to be happy, unlike all those condescending candidates. However, it just might be that America needs me. Otherwise, it can have some serious problems. Think about it. It can have some serious problems if we don't really address these issues that I'm talking about. They don't give us unity. You tell me you are smart enough to know the difference. Which Democrat candidate is giving you unity or giving me unity to vote for them? Which vote is a vote for unity in this country? If you go for Donald Trump, is he a vote for unity? I don't think so. And so that's a major problem for me and for anybody who really loves this country and doesn't want to make their primary concern in life politics. Let's face it, we're kind of over that. And we would really like to see this country step back from the many catastrophes it's facing. It's right on top of. It's literally already dealing with global warming in a serious way. We have disunity and a soft civil war that's turning more hard every day. We have white nationalism and people just branching up from the bottom and getting very scary, creating our own American terrorism. And not to mention the already Muslim extremist terrorism and already so many concerns. And folks, I don't pick and choose which ones I want to talk about. They just come to mind first. There's at least 10 pressing major crises that are, any one of them, capable of being life-altering, and some of them life-ending, indeed, for this country and to experience in the next decade. We have to think about that. And so I am, and that's why I'm running. So what I'm going to do, and I do apologize for cutting this debate short, but the truth of it is, if I don't do something else with this video, they don't give me a chance to speak as it is. I'm just your people's candidate. I'm the normal guy candidate. If I get a shot, I'll be the best president we've ever had in terms of just being a normal guy and not needing the head trip, really, and just to get the work done. I say I'm the candidates. I'm the people's candidates because I want you to feel like you're there and that you would be in many ways. And the fact is, I don't honestly need to. It's not for me. I'm doing this for the country, and I'm doing this to sustain life for all of us and to fix the major wrong. Greed is taking over everything. It won't let us get up. We're trying to get up and have a better life, but greed is just taking it away. Gobble, gobble, gobble. It's a big issue. Even if it wasn't destroying the world and making it so pressing that we have to address all of these concerns or our very way of America would come to an end, even if that wasn't the case, it still makes sense to take care of that gobble, gobble greed. My goodness, you can't get nothing done in a greedy environment. You know that. It's like zombies. And you see it, and it affects all classes in society. You see even people that are on the street, the few morsels they get, they go for it. They're like rabid animals, and people in all society do that. We have to get away from that, folks. This is something inside of us, and it's literally the greed against the love is what I call it. The hate, greed, the jealousy, the animosity, all of these lower emotions, that's all devil. That's all hell. Like, don't you know that? And love and truth, the very truth around you, this is stuff that we need to work with, or we're going to end up having problems, okay? So I'm just giving it to you hard. And I have some amazing, amazing content coming your way. We're going to be talking about, and we've been covering greed in detail just because it's the main enemy. It's Satan, in my view. Greed is the Satan within each of us. Think about that. Greed, the Satan in each of us. If we don't address that, well, then we're just fakes. Because the truth is, we can address that. And that's what this campaign is. And this campaign is also, for many people, it is a way to change our future in a peaceful, happy, momentous way that is capable of bringing about great times for America. And we talk about those plans, and it's so comforting to know that. And I have a certain level of comfort about the way I have such a clear understanding of what is happening. And to think that people that are in charge or that are running are just so filled with hate and eagerness, it scares me to think that those are the people that are vying to be our president. Doesn't that bother you? Or are you just fine with that? That these guys are so eager and they're burning with hatred for each other, and they're just so, I mean, these are the lower emotions that I already have identified and know to be evil. We know it. So why are we electing people that are exercising this stuff? We know that it's not right. We act like we're going to get perfect candidates, but they're not perfect. They're not. And they know it. And you know it too. And later when you see all their corruption and it comes out, you get slapped in the face again. But it was wrong. Shame on any of us for looking for perfect candidates. Instead, all we needed to do was to love perfectly, and that it was that love that was perfect, and that we can do so much through that. But we don't want to put our faith in that because we're holding on to our greed. We don't want to change. We like that. It's working for now. But let me tell you, it's not going to stay working, and that's the sad part for many of you that put your faith in that. I mean, how's that going to work when you have no unity? People are going more crazy. They're going more greedy. The people at the bottom are only clawing harder at the people at the top. They're not peaceful like your Happy Healer. They're going insane. How are you going to be able to manage this? I'm not seeing it really. And now we have another presidential election with no unity. It's going to get even worse. And I will run a positive campaign. I know I will win. If you give me the chance and you set me to the top, I only get better as I go. My spirit feeds off the people. And not just that, but that the people will see. The people will see. They'll recognize that and they'll respect that. They'll like seeing one of their own go up. I'm not an insane individual. We'll have a great America, and it'll be better than ever before, and it will be sane and it will be united. That's what we need. Somebody that can come up from the bottom and unite this country, and that can make us feel like we're at comfort. It's so important. All right, well, I have half of these channels have went down because of ABC blocking this thing, which I just still don't get. I'm running for president, ABC. This is fair use. Fair use based on the fact that your Happy Healer is running for president of the United States of America. You didn't put me in the debate. I didn't even get a chance. You won't even give an interview. You won't even announce my candidacy. Now you won't even let me show this. How great. Wonderful. Now you can just do that if you like, I guess. That's what greed does, guys. We better work on it, or our country's in for some real problems. And that's not my choosing that. It's just the writing on the wall. I mean, come on. It's just the way it is. And it's very sad because we should just live. Let me end it like this. I love you guys. Live your lives with love. Take care of each other. Do something special. Know your worth. Know your value. It's so important that you know your value. It's not important that other people know your value. You see, that's where I get my strength. It's my little secret. They can never break my spirit because I've got God, I have value, I have purpose, and I have you. Those of you who do love me, I'm focused on you. And so you do the same. Know that your Happy Healer loves you. And do something special for yourself. Take a warm shower or a warm bath and relax. Everything's going to be just fine. We'll see you soon.